Right, for more on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway reconstruction, I'm now joined by Mr. Adedamola Kuti, the Director of Federal Highways Southwest, Federal Ministry of Works and Housing. He joins us from our Abuja studios. Great to have you on the news at 10.
Thank you very much.
All right, so it's good news. The OPIC area between the Kara Bridge and, of course, the Long Bridge corridor has been completed for the motorists and commuters alike. But let me start by asking you exactly, when actually should motorists now expect the full completion of the reconstruction work on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, considering the several postponements of dates for the reopening of the highway in past months, including today, which is no longer feasible?
Yeah, thank you very much, Ayo. Like, you see, the earlier completion date of 30th of April, which happens to be today, we were unable to meet that target as a result of, some factors. Majorly, the heavy rain experienced since March and April, and of course, the unexpected, very heavy traffic. So, and as we move into the next month, you see, we are moving into May. We also do not expect the rain. We expect that it will still be heavy, and it's a bit difficult. But what we want to assure motorists is that we are determined. The government is determined to complete this project. We are fully on ground. As a result, as a matter of fact, the section that we opened up the OPIC exits, that's the Kara Bridge to the Long Bridge, open up this evening. And what is left is just like about a kilometer as you enter into Lagos. And then maybe another 2 kilometers once you are leaving Lagos, outbound Lagos. And we are fully determined, fully determined. We have enough equipment and men on ground to achieve this. Well, very, very soon, this will be over. But it's so difficult now because of the rains. And the effect of the rain, if I may just say this, is that, once it rains heavily in a day, it brings us back by another 2 days because you require some dry weather, to dry up the materials that is built, except if it's asphalt work you are doing. But if it's earthworks, you still require, because it has to be compacted, under a specified moisture content.
All right, so
for the fact that we are not in control of the weather, it's a bit difficult, but we are determined to complete it as soon as possible.
Okay, so you're telling us now that as soon as possible, the project will be completed. You can't give us a specific date, actually, at this moment in time. And of course, I would also like to ask you...
Because of the rain.
All right, because of the rain.
And the heavy traffic.
Well, some of the challenges that you've already talked about, are you saying that they weren't envisaged on the rehabilitation work? And of course, with May 29 fast approaching, how confident are you that this project, when it's fully completed, will be commissioned by the current administration?
Like I mentioned earlier, if the weather permits us, we'll be able to complete before the end of May. But as it is now, it will be a bit difficult for me to say precisely because we are not in control of the weather.
All right, so can you give us an update on the level of work done? Talking about Section 2 of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, that's from Shagamu interchange to Ojo in Ibadan, if I'm correct, in Oyo State. What can you tell us about that?
Good. On that Section 2, from Shagamu interchange up to Ibadan, that's up to Ojo, we've already completed work up to a place called Mufta Olaniu. That's around kilometer 115 kilometer. We've already gone beyond the whole toll gate, which is kilometer 105. So we've gone beyond it by about 10 kilometers. So we are right inside Ibadan. And you recall that the Honorable Minister mentioned earlier that, we have the state government, your state government carrying out some drainage work, construction of culverts along that area, precisely at 3 locations, at kilometer 116, and then, of course, that junction that leads to Old Ife Road. So work is also progressing seriously on that side. And of course, another team is coming from Ojo, coming towards this direction, coming towards the other direction to ensure that we complete this project as soon as possible.
All right, so finally, what other features are we likely to see on the entire length of the highway in terms of support infrastructure, especially street lighting, street signs, perhaps speed limit indicators, drains like you already talked about? And what plans are there for enhanced security with the states, talking about Lagos, Ogun and Oyo State, on the project going forward?
Yeah, the features are already there. Like on the Lagos the Section 1, we have provision for street lighting, especially in the township. And then, of course, by the time we enter into the second phase, wherever we believe that street lighting should also be provided, will be provided on Section 1. The same thing applies to, to the Section 2 of the project. But the most important thing for us is to get the road itself, to connect from Lagos to Ibadan. And as regards the issue of security, we're working with with police, essentially. The last time I was with the commissioners of police in Ogun and I think Oyo State, we are working with them to ensure it's actually their own duty to ensure that there is adequate security on this road. So for now, we are working with them. And then, of course, as you must have noticed, all the cries along Long Bridge has abated. You don't have anybody stopping on that Long Bridge any longer because the stretch on the OPIC ASICs, which created a bit of bottleneck last year, December, November, has been completed. And then nobody is stopping on the Long Bridge any longer. So the issue of security breach has been eliminated on that bridge.
All right, we'll definitely leave it at that. Mr. Adedamola Kuti, Director of Federal Highway Southwest, Federal Ministry of Works and Housing, we thank you for your thoughts on the news at 10.
Thank you for having me.